For over a year, the central question of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City was not about faith or family. It was a physical clue. Who gave Heather Gay the black eye? It fueled headlines, podcast episodes, and fan detective work. It was the ultimate cliffhanger. The producer's explosive claim reframes this entire saga. They assert the power of the black eye was never in revealing the source. The power was in the withholding. The mystery itself was the asset. As long as no one knew, everyone was a suspect. As long as everyone was a suspect, Heather remained the central, wounded figure around which all orbits revolved. It was a narrative sovereign territory that no co-star could enter without permission. Visuals shift to show Heather skillfully pivoting every conversation back to her pain, her trauma, her journey, while others flail. Think about it with the wisdom of experience. In life, we've seen how unresolved grievances can hold entire families or workplaces hostage. The person who controls the story of the wound often controls all the energy in the room. The producer alleges Heather mastered this on a televised scale. The lie, or the sustained omission, wasn't a secret to keep. It was a tool to wield. It created a loyalty test for her castmates and a consuming puzzle for the audience, all while her brand of brave truth-teller grew, without her having to tell the one actual truth that mattered. If this is true, it forces a terrifying and brilliant question. What happens when someone like this is caught, when the narrative finally cracks? The producer's final and perhaps most insightful claim reveals the most dangerous move of all, the strategic surrender. The confession, the ultimate power play. Heather's final confession about the black eye, not the emotional moment, but the aftermath. Her triumphant book tour, the Bad Mormon branding, the talk show appearances framing her as a heroic survivor. When the truth finally emerged in a controlled, televised moment, it was framed as a cathartic release, a burden finally laid down. But the producer asks us to look at the aftermath, to examine the debris field of that confession. Heather didn't collapse from the weight of her secret, she ascended. The confession became the cornerstone of her empire. It was the raw material for a best-selling memoir, the hook for a national speaking tour, the ultimate proof of her complexity. The lie and its eventual telling became the two-act structure of her hero's journey. This is where the accusation of dangerous crystallizes. It's the alleged pattern. Create an unsolvable mystery, the black eye. Control the narrative entirely through victimhood and omission. Then, when the pressure is greatest, release the truth on your own terms and transform the scandal into fuel for the next chapter of your story. It's a closed loop of control. Anyone who challenges you is attacking a victim. Anyone you hurt was collateral damage in your grand, televised redemption. For us, the audience, this poses a profound and uncomfortable question about our own complicity. We reward the narrative, we buy the books, we champion the underdog. The producer's warning is ultimately not about Heather Gay, but about us. Are we celebrating resilience, or are we being expertly managed? The producer's courage in speaking out lies in this final, inspirational warning. The most dangerous stories are not the ones we're told are false. The most dangerous stories are the ones we're so eager to believe are true that we never think to question why they're being told and who benefits from our belief. So this is not a simple takedown. It is a case study in modern mythology, A former architect of the show comes forward not with salacious gossip, but with a sobering analysis of power, narrative, and truth. Heather Gay may be a phenomenon, she may be a genius of personal branding, but this brave producer has asked us to look behind the curtain, to see the gears and pulleys of the underdog machine. They have staked their career to issue a simple, stark warning. Beware the storyteller who is always the hero of their own tale. For in that story, everyone else is merely a character, expendable to the plot. The word dangerous was chosen, and now we can never unhear it. The truth is not always the story being sold.